Before Steve Rogers ever touched vibranium, before the serum, before the symbol, there was just a skinny kid from Brooklyn who refused to back down. He didn't have strength, training, or protection. What he did have was instinct. When cornered by bullies in an alley, Steve grabbed the nearest thing he could find, a dented metal trash can lid. It wasn't designed to block punches or stop blows. It barely covered his chest. But that moment mattered more than any future upgrade. That lid wasn't about defense, it was about refusal. Refusal to run. Refusal to submit. Long before the shield became indestructible, Steve proved he would stand in front of danger with whatever he had. That's the real origin of Captain America's shield. Not the metal, the mindset. After receiving the Super Soldier Serum, Steve's body changed, but his instincts stayed the same. During his first real mission, chasing down a Hydra agent through the streets, bullets began flying. Without hesitation, Steve ripped the door off a nearby car and raised it in front of him. It wasn't planned. It wasn't tactical. It was pure reflex. What makes this moment special is the detail most people miss. The car door had a circular emblem with a star at its center. Whether intentional or coincidence, it mirrored the shield Steve would soon carry. This was the first time his courage was paired with actual power. He could finally protect himself and others without being crushed in the process. The car door wasn't a symbol yet, but it was a transition. Steve Rogers was no longer just brave, he was capable. When Steve officially became Captain America, he didn't step onto the battlefield right away. Instead, the US Army turned him into propaganda. A costume, a smile, a symbol meant to sell war bonds and lift morale. In his hand was the USO Shield. This shield was painted to resemble the American flag, complete with bold colors and a central star. It was real metal, but it wasn't meant for combat. It was a stage prop, something to pose with under bright lights while Steve performed scripted routines for cheering crowds. Then came the moment that changed everything. During his first unsanctioned rescue mission, Steve used that same USO shield to block live gunfire. In an instant, the line between performance and reality disappeared. The shield stopped being decoration and became protection. That moment marked the end of Captain America the mascot and the birth of Captain America the soldier. Everything changed when Howard Stark introduced Steve to Vibranium. Forged from the only known supply of the metal in the United States, the Vibranium Shield was unlike anything ever created, nearly indestructible, able to absorb massive amounts of energy, designed not just to block, but to endure. When Steve first held it, the shield wasn't painted. It was a plain silver disc, smooth and unfinished. Peggy Carter tested it by firing directly at it, watching the bullets bounce harmlessly away. That was the moment the shield proved itself worthy of the man who would carry it. Once painted in red, white, and blue, the shield became inseparable from Steve Rogers. It wasn't just defensive anymore. In Steve's hands, it became a weapon, a tool, and a promise. He could throw it, ricochet it, and use it to protect others without hesitation. Over time, the shield evolved alongside him. In The Winter Soldier, Steve used a stealth version designed for covert operations. In Age of Ultron, Tony Stark added electromagnetic technology, allowing Steve to recall the shield instantly during combat. It became an extension of his body, moving with precision and purpose. But even Vibranium had limits. Black Panther's claws left visible marks on the shield, a reminder that nothing is truly unbreakable, and in Endgame, Thanos shattered it completely with his double-bladed sword. Watching the shield break wasn't just shocking because of the metal, it was shocking because of what it represented. For the first time, the symbol of unwavering defense failed. Yet the shield returned, rebuilt, restored, passed forward. Because the shield was never about perfection, it was about perseverance. And eventually, Steve passed that legacy to Sam Wilson, proving the shield belongs to ideals, not just individuals. After Civil War, Steve left the shield behind. Without it, he entered Infinity War, stripped of his symbol, his title, and his country. That's when Wakanda stepped in. King T'Challa ordered new shields forged, but these were different. Instead of a single disc, Steve received 2 forearm-mounted vibranium shields, sleek, angular, designed for close-quarters combat rather than precision throws. These Wakandan shields reflected who Steve had become. No longer a public symbol, no longer an icon, just a man fighting because it was right. In the Battle of Wakanda, Steve used them brutally and efficiently, standing toe-to-toe with Thanos' army. These shields weren't about hope or legacy, they were about survival, about standing your ground when everything else is gone. Every shield Steve Rogers carried tells a chapter of his story. The trash can lid showed his courage. The car door showed his instinct. The USO Shield bridged performance and purpose. The Vibranium Shield defined a generation. The Wakandan gauntlets revealed the man beneath the symbol. The shield changed shape, material, and design, but its meaning never did. Captain America was never defined by what he held. He was defined by why he held it. And that's why the shield will always be more than just a weapon.